I'm Dr. J with healthcoachingwithdrj.com, and today I'm riding Palomar Mountain. I'm out here in East County, San Diego, and Mount Palomar is a ride that's been on my list for a long time too, so I get to check that off today. And it's very comparable to Alpe. It's about 12 miles long, same gradient, about 8% average over that time. So it'll be a really good test to see where my training is at right now, and also just to have an experience of a climb that's that long, as well as at that gradient, because I've never done anything like this before. So it'll give me a good gauge of where I'm at right now. So we'll see you along the way and at the top.
Hi! How is it?
I didn't even hear Julie. I mean, sure, I've got earphones on. I was listening to music the whole way up, but at this point, I was really nervous. This is only the first couple miles into the ride, and the way my body was feeling, I was really scared I wasn't going to get to the top. And what I learned from doing this ride was just how mental it can be doing a physical feat like this. I mean, sure, physically, I had to get my body up the mountain. This ended up being a 14.7 mile ride. It took me 2 hours and 22 minutes. I didn't stop the whole way. I went all the way up to the top. But what allowed me to keep churning my legs over and kept going, even though my body was screaming at me, was my mental aspect. So now I know when I go up the mountain and up the huez, that when that fear comes up, when that intimidation starts to set in, I'll have had this experience and be able to deal with it totally differently. You know, I was dealing with all kinds of excuses. You know, I told all my clients and friends and family that I was doing this ride. Julie's recording it, all these different things. And what if I don't finish? And what does that mean? And, you know, being nervous about it and intimidated by it was just part of my experience that I needed to go through. So, I mean, one, I know now that I can climb a big mountain like Palomar. It takes me a long time, but I can do it. And I also know mentally what that experience is like, so that I have it in me to be able to pull it off once again. And you know, this is a lot like setting any kind of health goal. I mean, if you're going after doing a big ride like this, or a marathon, or even something where you're setting a goal where you want to lose some weight and or heal from an injury, when you first start out, it can be tough because all of that doubt and uncertainty can come up, and a lot of times it stops you in your tracks where you're at. But if you just keep going and you have that resolve to just keep putting one foot in front of another, it's going to make all the difference. And then before you know it, you're going to be there at the top and you're going to have achieved your goal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, got to get another water bottle in me. It was very hot that day, and I mean, look at that. It's just gorgeous looking down back onto San Diego as I'm going up this hill.
Look at all that.
I saw.
Hello.
And, you know, at this point, it's probably halfway through, and it was the first time I realized, hey, you know, stop and look around. It's gorgeous up here. And I was only looking up most of the time, looking at what I had to do rather than where I'd come from and what I'd already done.
That water bottle exchange was like real Tour de France stuff. That's cool.
See, and having a little more fun with it. As much fun as I can have with my legs and my lungs screaming at me. And that's, again, you know, once I got over that initial fear and that just being intimidated, made a huge difference. And then I was able to enjoy the ride that much more and appreciate, okay, there's another mile gone, there's another 1/10 of a mile gone. I miscalculated how far the ride was going to be to the top. When I started, I thought it was going to be 12 miles. Turned out to be 14.7, which, when you're going as slow as I am and just trying to push each pedal down, there you go, 2.7 miles makes a huge difference.
You're doing so great, baby. You're doing so well.
That support's huge, especially when you're trying to pull over the cranks like this.
Alpe would have finished about a half mile ago at 9:25, or an hour 25, so 3 miles to go there to Palomar.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 miles, it was more like 5 miles. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was, but at this point I had that satisfaction of knowing I'd climbed the distance, the 9 miles that Alpe huez would have been, and now I just need to set my sights on Palomar. And I thought about stopping then, but today I came to climb Mount Palomar. I didn't come to ride 9 miles, so I just kept going. And at this turnaround here, I really got a second wind where I felt like there was an end in sight, and it was coming up real quick.
It's the first flat part in 12 miles. Woo!
And here it is at the top. Made it to the top of Mount Palomar.
Wow. 2 hours, 12 minutes. So I made it. I'm here at the top. This is where I came from. It was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know, I imagined it to be tough, but it was so long, just relentless, going back and forth and back and forth. And I'm really stoked I made it. I'm really happy that I did it. It's over 2 hours, 12 miles. But now I know what it feels like, and I can check it off the list. It's been on my bucket list for a while, along with Alpe huez, so I got this one done. So I'm happy. I'm real happy. I'm going to go home and have a big fat burrito.